I'm Herve. Should Christians celebrate holidays? The word holiday literally means holy day. It refers to a special day of festivity or religious devotion. But you don't have to worship a god to have a holiday. In fact, you could make a holiday to worship almost anything. For example, Super Bowl Sunday is practically the most holy day of the year for some American football fans. Now, you may have heard that Christian holidays such as Christmas and Easter are actually offshoots of pagan traditions. So, is it okay for Christians to celebrate these holidays? And what about other holidays like Halloween and the Super Bowl? Well, here's a few things to consider. Did you know that covering your mouth when you yawn and knocking on wood are both rooted in pagan practices? And the days of the week are named after pagan gods. For example, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are named after Thor, Freya, and Saturn. I see a lot of people wearing Nike shoes. Does that mean that they worship Nike, the Greek goddess of victory? And in the Bible, there was a Christian preacher named Apollos. Now, Apollos is also the name of one of the Roman gods, but that brother did not feel the need to change his name. The point is, intent matters. For example, when I decorate a Christmas tree, I'm not worshiping the tree, I'm just enjoying the festive atmosphere around Christmas. So in everything you do, God knows if your intent is pure or if you're really worshiping other gods. Now, there are no scriptures anywhere in the Bible that command Christians to celebrate or not celebrate a holiday. The Apostle Paul says in Colossians chapter 2, verses 16 and 17, "Do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day. These are a shadow of the things that were to come. The reality, however, is found in Christ." So, where did Christian holidays come from? As Christianity spread around Europe, the church tried to eliminate pagan idolatry by merging common festivals with Christian-themed celebrations. Now, no one knows for sure what day Jesus was born, and no one really knows how and when Christians started to celebrate his birthday. But eventually, Christmas became an alternative to other winter solstice celebrations like Sol Invictus and Saturnalia. Easter, the celebration of Jesus rising from the dead, became associated with pagan festivals in the spring. In the same way, the church created All Saints' Day and All Hallows' Eve, or Halloween, to help pagans leave their former practices. The idea was for these new holidays to teach the truth of Christ behind the shadow of their beliefs. In retrospect, this may have backfired, but Christians have always been free to celebrate Christ with or without these days anyway. Consider this. Back in the first century, it was possible for someone to walk into a market and buy food that had been sacrificed to pagan idols. Naturally, some Christians thought it was unrighteous to eat that food. However, other Christians felt it was fine. So, the Apostle Paul talked about this issue in 1 Corinthians chapter 8. He says, "We know that an idol is nothing." And so he concludes, "We are no worse if we do not eat, and no better if we do." Basically, there's nothing inherently wrong with eating food that was sacrificed to idols. However, in the same chapter, Paul also says some people are still so accustomed to idols that when they eat sacrificial food, they think of it as having been sacrificed to a god, and since their conscience is weak, it is defiled. So, for some Christians, it actually was a sin to eat that food because they didn't eat it with a clear conscience. This principle is true for holidays as well. If your conscience is clear, feel free to celebrate. But if not, I advise you to refrain. Whatever you do, keep a clear conscience, practice spiritual discernment, and enjoy God's creation throughout the year. If you like this video, please subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. But for now, that's another tool for your toolbox.